Kaspa's positioned for its biggest upside move in 365 days. While we break down this brief time frame window, we're going to expand into the 2025/2026 crypto price peak, giving you an adjustable model to show exactly, with a precision level of accuracy, where Kaspa, or any crypto for that matter, is going to end up. Before we break any of this down, the first thing we've got to do is dispel one of the most common urban myths about cryptocurrency, that being 500 days after the Bitcoin halving, all crypto reaches a peak. And disproving this is very easy. Right here, we're seeing two arrows. This green one is initiating the prior Bitcoin halving cycle. Does anybody know what this blue arrow stands for? This is the FOMC rate cut cycle. And right here, we see a very key date. I want you to keep this in the back of your mind as we start scrolling over some other charts, including the stock market. February 20th, this is when Bitcoin, as well as the total 3 altcoin market cap, all rose up to an all-time high. Jumping over to Tesla, we can see, wow, Tesla itself must have some kind of a halving because it reached its peak simultaneously with Bitcoin. That must be some kind of a coincidence. Looking at GameStop, everybody's seen the movie Dumb Money. We've all heard of this legendary trade on GameStop. This peaked directly at the same time as Bitcoin. I was actually adding on to my GameStop position part of Roaring Kitty's VIP group. You can see that date right there, January 13th, just 15 days before the God candle on GameStop appeared. So we're making a correlation to this February 20th date on Bitcoin, the altcoin total 3 chart, Tesla. It's all coming down. Fast forward to right now, we can see the Bitcoin halving took place back here, but it wasn't until the FOMC initiated their rate cut cycle that we started seeing dynamic price movement to the upside. Taking a look at this FOMC rate chart, we can see right here, this exact same date 1 year in advance. Of course, this is a lagging indicator showing the FOMC. They're playing this monopoly money with fiat currency. Another way to illustrate this is looking at the FOMC balance sheet. Now, I know this is starting to get confusing, and they design it that way to be complex. One of the things we focus on inside our VIP group is understanding enough of FOMC monetary policy to trade off of it. And once you hit that level, it unlocks profit that nobody else is seeing. And we're going to showcase this in correlation to FOMC monetary policy in a moment, and then fast forward to the up and coming moves. As we can see right here in February, what this massive increase is showing, very similar to this reduction in rate cuts, soon to become the Bitcoin, Tesla, and GameStop peak. This is the FOMC, the government, buying bonds and assets off of your investment banking class, therefore adding more liquidity to the economy to stimulate jobs and whatnot. Keep in mind, the FOMC just started stimulation again. Right now, actually looking at this chart, they're still in what's known as quantitative tightening. And this is going to play into the up and coming Kaspa breakout undoubtedly. What we can see here is another chart that's correlating just how strong the connection between Kaspa and these monetary policies are. All the way back here, FOMC meeting, rocket ship God candle, FOMC meeting, rocket ship to the upside. You can see how correlated Kaspa particularly is with monetary policy. What we're looking at here is a gigantic broadening wedge pattern. There's people on social media that have came up with a data set, well, Kaspa's only up 30-50% for the past 365 days. That's because it's in an accumulation phase. Looking at this post on Twitter, which got 25,000 views in the first 48 hours, we can see that the cornerstone bottom of this broadening wedge pattern was orchestrated by the Binance Gamma support. We can see the exact same thing on Coinbase at 35,000. Despite all the increased regulation by Gary Gensler and the SEC, the powers that be are able to swoop in Marathon Digital's Kaspa hardware investment taking place before suddenly Binance lists futures on Kaspa, creating this gamma support level at 10 cents that Kaspa was never going to even wick below. They did the exact same thing at Coinbase at 35,000. And this is important to outline as it's a key piece of this broadening wedge pattern, getting ready to break to the upside. One thing we despise in technical analysis is when it's done without the fundamentals connecting to it. And the massive fundamentals to this broadening wedge are both in part on chain as well as connected to the FOMC monetary policy. In my opinion, the Kaspa team, similar to other teams that we'll show in a minute, knew in advance when they upgrade to 10 BPS, having quantitative tightening come to a halt will be extremely bullish, thus the investment banking class showing more interest in Kaspa as they get paperwork confirming its bull run. Jumping over to a VIP post, while one of our 24-point certified gems ended up becoming a leading swing trade after the September 18th FOMC rate cut, we can see there was a new listing on MEXC here and then down at 17 cents. That's right, Gate.io listed it as well. And both of these catalysts for new listings were nowhere near as bullish as once the rate cut cycle hit. Jumping into the VIP group to use this exact information to make profitable trades right inside the top 100, we can see Bitcoin, giant falling wedge pattern, Render, another falling wedge pattern. And this all comes down to the fact that the FOMC has delayed rate cuts. Scrolling forward, we can see this on Solana with a buy zone at 130. AVAX with a buy zone just under $25. This is combining your technical analysis with monetary policy, and one of the secrets to success inside our VIP. We had been plotting to buy Moonwell months in advance as soon as the federal government started its rate cut cycle, getting our entire VIP group in right around the 3-cent mark as it rocketed up to 10 cents. And right now, Kaspa is forming another one of these classical patterns in combination with monetary policy. Let's get down to the brass tacks. We realize Kaspa is going to rocket up to that 50-cent range in quarter one with the 10 BPS upgrade combined with a quantitative tightening halt, meaning that this chart's going to start to show a flat line. This is very bullish. So what does this mean for Kaspa's price projection during this bull run? The first thing is we have to keep an eye on monetary policy. At any time, the federal government can release a new updated information, creating a more bullish or a more bearish market cap top. And through this study, everybody inside our VIP group not only recognized brief local swing peaks like here on August 26. We tracked this through quantitative tightening paperwork. We actually found the federal government bond auction, realized to the day, to the dollar when it was going on here and also here. Zooming out on the big picture, there was a massive catalyst that has to do with the quantitative easing and tightening cycle taking place right here at the all-time market peak. Knowing this, studying this is going to change your bull run 100%, particularly when it comes time to selling. And this is what we teach inside VIP. This is why my personal trading results, as well as everybody's in the group, has been crushing across markets, with all of our swing trade plans correlated directly to monetary policy. It's the edge that you've been looking for, and it's the key factor in this price model. This is the last cycle. It shows Bitcoin at $1 trillion, and then these leading altcoins are taking somewhere between 10% on the high end to the low end of 2% of Bitcoin's peak. Adjusting this into the 2025-26 market peak, Bitcoin's at $150,000. That's a $3 trillion market cap. So we do our calculations on the low end, 2% of 3 trillion is 60 billion. That would be just above Polkadot's prior all-time high. Doing those calculations, that would put Kaspa on the low end, worst case scenario, $2.50 at a 60 billion market cap. Jonathan himself, 500 days ago, projected Kaspa would go at least this high. With 2 and change as the low end of the price projection, let's look for a more realistic median level that Kaspa will achieve during this bull run. Back to our prior data set, we can see Solana has a lot of comparisons and similarities to Kaspa this cycle. Both of them were new listings. Solana didn't hook up their smart contracts until late, right as the bull market was initiating. Very similar to Kaspa. And Solana was able to capture around a 7% allocation of Bitcoin's total. That would make the price 3 times the levels from Polkadot's all-time high, putting Kaspa between $6 and $7. That is a far more realistic projection for Kaspa. Everybody's putting so much emphasis on how high the price is going to go. They're not paying attention to when it's going to peak. Inside this VIP group, every trading plan that we do is made in advance. There's no quick pull the trigger in 15 minutes. We're always looking ahead into the future, correlating all our trading plans to monetary policy, classic pattern directories, including, you guys remember the Bank of Japan carry trade? That discouraged a lot of the Kaspa community. We recognized that price was suddenly going to pivot on notice from monetary policy, Bank of Japan raising the rates, advising everybody that was in leverage trades to get out. Using the 24-point checklist, step 15, recognize where in the globe the project is based. This GameFi project is based in Japan. We started planning to buy it once we put 2 and 2 together on the carry trade, started filling our bags at 50 cents, knowing this was going to be so profitable. We even did an add-on right here under 70 cents, boom, and a take profit right around the 160. This is a leading swing trade, crushing the meme coin. We started this channel 500 days ago with 12,500 in cash. Utilizing all of this information that we've gone over in these videos, we were able to turn that 12,500 into today what's valued at $250,000. Combining FOMC data with classic patterns, here's how we did it. We started the channel back here, 90 days before a crucial FOMC meeting on May 3rd, when the Fed was ready to hike rates, knowing this would be extremely bearish. Meanwhile, the rest of social media thought this was the beginning of altcoin season based on the same catalyst. We opened a short trade on AVAX with leverage, layering into it, turning that $12,000 into just over 30K. Knowing Satoshi's secret, this is cryptocurrency. It's not crypto technology. Right here, because the FOMC raised rates, there was a massive sale of altcoins. Meanwhile, Kaspa was just moving parallel, having a grand time, even starting to beef up. We took the profits from that short sale and we loaded it all in on Kaspa. This is a screenshot of our first double up back when Kaspa was still under 4 cents. We had changed that $12,000 into 50 grand. As quarter one of 2025 rolls out, the federal government halts quantitative tightening. Simultaneously, the Kaspa team upgrades to 10 BPS. KII launches smart contracts, and this broadening wedge pattern plays out, rocketing Kaspa's price up to the 50-cent range. My personal bag will be valued at $1 million US at 66 cents per Kaspa coin, thus changing $10,000 into $1 million in under 2 years. It's all on camera, and we have every detail how to do this inside VIP, including the 24-point checklist gem hunting system, how we knew Kaspa was a high value asset so early, how we knew to buy Moonwell under 3 cents, how we knew DEAI was going to be a rocket ship. We have 7 reports filled out. The focus of them is in artificial intelligence. Another great swing trade that we got everybody in VIP's hands on is this desync pick, the buy zone at 15, and it just rocketed up. Multiple people inside the Discord were discussing, yeah, we should actually take this trading plan alongside the Render, Solana, AVAX trades, the Moonwell trades. This has been one of the leading recent go-getters. And we have a 24-point report on how valuable desync, aka Destra, is. This managed learning system is top of the line. I get tons of thank yous from advanced traders who want to build their team, hiring on help to comb through paperwork, to examine the charts every day, to stay up on current events like new listings, etc., and get that information to everybody in an easily digestible format. Check out the VIP group today. Before the bull market kicks off, you'll thank yourself later. Thanks for checking out this video, guys. We'll catch you on the next one.